Be positive or negative all day. They don't know what to make. For instance, the new Apple reveal, which is going on right now in Sunnyvale, California. Tim Cook, he's become a master. He has the guy has really come into his own.
He's good.
I
don't even remember. I don't even remember the dead guy who used to run that company.
I don't even know.
What is his name? I have no idea who that guy's name is.
Yeah. Charlie Von Fuckface.
That's who it was.
Positive or negative all day. They don't know what.
I wonder if they're excited about the Amazon Prime Day. I wonder if that's what they're excited about.
Yeah, they are. I want to go through that list of the 50 greatest deals.
Please share. All right, I just shared it to my timeline.
I keep seeing that thing that you put on your hand to get the hair off of your dog. It's always on sale somewhere. What is it? Is that a problem?
Do you like it? Do you want to get one?
No, I don't want to get one. I don't want to get one. But
all right, it should be on my timeline and on the Brad and Britt thing.
Yeah. There we go.
I saw that there was some sort of study or something that said ever since COVID broke out that divorces in America are up like 34%. I don't know if there's a correlation thing or what, with couples hanging around each other and getting sick of each other and shit.
Sure. But believe me, I'm this close.
Yeah.
And by the way, I live in a big house and I don't have to. By the way, the advantages of a big house now, never more important.
See, that's the error that I made. I mean, I was in a small house because it was just me. I never foresaw this.
Well, but yeah.
If I ever have somebody living with me, then it's going to be the end of the world. It'll be just death. Oh my God. I should have foreseen a pandemic.
No, your house is fine for two people. Your house would still be fine for two people. It's the you can't possibly get away at all crisis that people are having.
I recall being in the house with somebody that I didn't necessarily want to be around, and it was not easy to stay away from.
In that case, yeah, the house can't be big enough. Right?
Exactly. and by the way, the other person wasn't so fond of staying around me either. I just want to make that clear for the record to anybody who's watching. Yeah. They were trying to not be around me as well.
What do you think of that letter I published from the woman in Brevard?
Oh, I didn't see this.
You see it? Look on the Brad and Britt page or mine. It is like the most well-written.
Wow.
Perfect. No grammar, no fuck up, no nothing. It's perfect.
I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking she can't be a native, and you're probably right.
And I complimented her, and your mother liked it.
Yes. Yeah.
She liked it.
That's nice.
Wait, hang on. She fell for it.
Let's see what her name is. Pamela Blevins. No, she's definitely not a native. She moved there. There's no.
The grammar is too good.
It's too good, and that's good. That is from the Transylvania Times. How about that? That was the first.
Is that a daily or a weekly?
That's a bi-weekly, and the first job
you have to be bisexual.
That's correct. You have to be bisexual in order to read it. The first job I had in radio, the owner of that also was related to that. So yeah, they got me my start in radio, so it was their fault.
Yeah. All right. Are we ready to
yes, we are ready to rock and roll.
All right. So the pre-show is over. It is the Brad and Britt cast for yet another fine day. Program note coming up on Thursday, Park Pewterbaugh. Mm-hmm. Today doing academics at Guilford College, in addition to continuing to be one of the best writers that we know of, and he lives in our area. He's been around here forever. He's written for every publication that you can think of that matters. That's all I
Exactly.
can say. How about that?
Many times, I guess, Rolling Stone, he was a staple in Rolling Stone for decades, right?
He still writes for them. He's still
Good for him.
listed on there. Yeah.
Hey, why does it say on your screen here, the people who are listening to the podcast will know, why does it say Brad Krantz nominee underneath your Chiron?
I'm thinking that now every day I should change.
That's good.
The name. If you're just listening, we have little labels below our picture on the kind of zoomy live broadcast that we do on YouTube and StreamYard and Facebook. And so I just put the word nominee after me. I don't know why. It seemed relevant. It seemed today. It seemed fresh.
Meanwhile, I'm just trying to promote the shop.bradandbritt.com because it is Prime Day, best prices of the year from Amazon. It's happening for Tuesday and Wednesday. So go and get it and use that link, shop.bradandbritt.com.
Yeah. Let me bring into the discussion what's going on across the country and where we are with early voting and mail-in voting and the problems that are starting to be shown. And we have a story out of, I believe, Virginia, where a cable was severed, cut. Oh, what an accident that must have been. Can't imagine how that would happen on their last day of registration, messing things up in Virginia. And I had a back and forth today with my friend James Bradley down in Texas. He lives in not in Dallas. There's a bunch of those counties around Dallas. All of them have 1 million people in them.
Exactly.
It's kind of like Atlanta.
Okay? Yeah.
And he got in line this morning to early vote. This was the first day to early vote in Texas.
Okay.
And it took him an hour, which by today's standards is fantastic, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not bad.
And then I asked him, well, how many places are there to vote in that county? I'd have to look up the name, but people, it doesn't matter what the name of the county is.
Okay.
The county has 1.1 million people, but they had 46 early voting places. And I was kind of shocked. I was actually shocked because Texas is one of the worst voter suppression states that there are. But at least in that little slice of what they're doing, they have a lot of early voting. So now that doesn't mean in every county that there are the same number or a proportionate number for whatever population it is. And that's actually about the same as we have here, because we have 25 early voting places in Guilford County, which is 550,000 people or so. So 46 is almost twice as many, and you get about twice as many people. So that's one thing that you can't complain about. But they're screwing around with a lot of other things in Texas too, so they're not off the hook there. And then you have the Georgia story of people waiting 11 hours on the first day. And I don't want to be too harsh here.
Which means you're about to be pretty harsh on Georgia.
Right, here in North Carolina in particular. We were the first state back the first week of September to start sending out mail-in ballots. And, for months and months and months and months, everywhere, please vote early. Put your application in as soon as possible. Do it as soon as you can. There's no reason to wait. No reason. And this is America. We're just a fucking nation of dumbasses. And they're going to wait till the last minute. The systems are overrun. They don't have enough people to count the ballots in places that aren't used to doubling or tripling or quadrupling the number of mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a bottleneck, and it's horrible. And the front page article in our local paper today was, it's now taking, if you try now to get a mail-in ballot, it can take 2 or 3 weeks to get it back. Well, 2 or 3 weeks, you're now up to the election. You're getting real close to election day. So now we're going to have people who are going to say, well, I sent on October 12th and I didn't get it back until
Right.
God damn you people. God damn you, America. To quote Reverend Wright, God damn America. You should have done it. Don't give Trump a win. You're going to give Trump the win here. This is what he wants.
Yeah,
This is what he wants.
These stories will be all over Fox News for days. That somebody was like,
it'll be all over all the news, Britt. It's not just going to be Fox.
It'll be on Fox because Trump's going to lose terribly. It'll be October the 29th. Somebody requested a ballot and they didn't get it in time. They didn't get it in time for Election Day. And what do you know? Early voting does start for us in North Carolina on Thursday. It's going to be the 15th. And I was just looking
in person
in early voting. And you talked about how we have several in Guilford County. There are 5 spots right next to us in Alamance County for a population of 169,000 people. So that's not too bad, right?
It could be more.
It could be.
5 seems to be pretty minimal. I mean, it by the way, it isn't just shouldn't be just based on the population. It's got to be the size. It's how far people have to drive.
Right.
You don't want to have people drive 30 miles.
You don't
to get to get to one. But I'm just trying to make the broader point here.
The people are stupid.
Just get on it now. Okay.
Right.
Get on it yesterday and don't sit around and wait. And I know it's an agonizing decision. You want to wait till the last moment in case James Comey comes out with a letter about Hillary Clinton again.
That's right.
On the final weekend before you make your decision at the presidential level. And you want to find out whether Cal Cunningham has 9 more bimbos that he's texting before you decide the Senate. I understand that. But God damn it, make a decision and vote.
That's very sexist. Cal Cunningham is a bimbo, Brad. It's not, you don't have to call the women who are involved or the woman who's involved a bimbo. You can just do you think that this is making? I see that Tillis is going very hard with this stuff about Cal Cunningham and his character and how awful he is and how he banged a chick possibly in his wife's house in his wife's bed while his wife was watching, filmed it, and then put it on Pornhub. I can't follow all of it. Do you think that this is making a difference? Because the polls that I'm seeing aren't showing any of that.
I don't think so. And you know what? The reason when this all shakes out, and I hope Cal Cunningham wins, we'll easily be able to give a 2-word answer as to why it didn't matter. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He is immunized, or it will have been that he immunized people like Cal Cunningham to commit way, way lesser sins than Donald Trump has committed his entire life of essentially raping and pillaging the country. That's in a figurative sense. I don't have any proof. Right.
Of course. Right. None of that happened. Well, I mean, it's an easy comeback for anybody who's wringing their hands about this. You go on their page and you go, what are you just pissed that he didn't bang a porn star and then pay her off? I mean, that's an easy comeback.
Right. And you know, you make a decision in your life right now based on where we are in the country, where we are in North Carolina, as to whether you, and this is a game of, lesser of 2 evils, which is more detrimental to your life? The fact that Cal Cunningham fucked around on his wife,
right?
Or that Tom Tillis is the biggest recipient of drug company money, the pharmaceutical industry, and therefore is, the biggest wuss in the entire Senate, and lies and pretends that he's going to stand up to Donald Trump and writes a column in the Washington Post about money shouldn't be diverted from our military to build a wall. And then 3 days later, he comes crawling back like a little puss. I'm so sorry. I'll vote the way you want, Donald. Now, you have to decide which is going to be more important to you, personal misconduct or governmental misconduct. See, in the case of Trump, he makes it easy because he commits both personal and governmental misconduct, and he's the most corrupt individual ever. So by definition, the bowling ball effect, you hit one pin, they all hit. Tom Tillis is going to get beaten when he might have been able to pull this out, I think, because of this scandal, because of Donald Trump. This is it's such a poetic ending. I hope so much that Tillis will pay the ultimate price, that all you people who are Republicans who have laid down for this guy for all these years, chicken shit of your voters, chicken shit of his base, are going to pay the price. And the way we do it is we get out there and we vote now. We get out there as quickly as possible. When early voting starts, go ahead, make the lines long the first few days. That's okay.
Yep.
Better to do it and
bring a snack
and get it over. Right. That's right. I will be at the Greensboro Coliseum Special Events Center.
Are you going to be there on Saturday?
Yeah, first day.
Oh, well, you're going to be on Thursday.
The third. I have to look. Now, I'm going to be around for about 4 different.
I'm going with a group of people on Saturday. We're going to have breakfast. We're going to march over there. That's where we're going on Saturday. We're going to be right there in line. We're going to be voting. So I'm taking a group of, I don't know if there's going to be 4 or 5 of us, but there should be a few of us. So we're making a plan. We're going to do it. We're going to stick around, and we're going to have, we're going to get it done.
Yeah,
and everybody should have a plan.
Now that I've brought myself down over this, the other side of it is when you see what was going on in Georgia on Monday, you saw people saying neither snow nor rain.
That's right.
Nor cold of night, nor attempted voter suppression by the crackers who run Georgia are going to stop us from voting and voting. And those were not Donald Trump voters waiting there in Georgia on that first day to get in.
They were not. No, they were motivated. Doing it. Is it illegal to pass out snacks and water to people who are in line? Are they going to they should go ahead and pass that law very quickly in Georgia that if somebody wanted to get some goldfish crackers or some apple slices to people. I
saw a guy, he had like 5 or 6 pizzas. He was walking down the line, passing out pizzas. Now, if I may just go on an off ramp here for a second, I think maybe American innovation is back. And for this, I'm sorry I did vote for Joe Biden, because look what Donald Trump has sparked in people. Look at that Little Caesars pizza where half of it are stripes and the other half is cut on pie slices.
Yeah.
Is that not the kind of no other country could do that.
That's right.
No, can you believe they advertise that as if that's a thing? That's like the ultimate. That's the ultimate moron joke. Okay. Hi, I want a pizza. Yes. What size do you want?
I don't know.
I want the size with 6 slices. Oh well, we can cut it into 12. Okay,
no,
that's a bigger pizza.
I want.
Right. And they're advertising now as a thing.
Yeah, okay? And they're probably going to win with it. They're probably going to do very well with it.
It's brilliant because it's nothing, and we're great at buying nothing and calling it something.
I love that. I love. It's $6 slices and sticks is what they're calling it. $6 slices and sticks. So half of it is pizza and half of it is the cheesy bread with the Italian cheese sticks is what they're calling it. That's what they're calling it. And Brad, it comes with crazy sauce for only $6 right now at Little Caesars.
I haven't had that pizza in 20 years. I don't know if it's any good or not.
It's good for $6.
It's a great price.
If it was $7, it wouldn't be good, but it's good for $6. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little Caesars used to be the 2 of them. That was the thing. Pizza. That used to be their deal. Any thoughts about Trump's fantastic rally from Sanford, Florida? Did you catch any of that? And did you enjoy it?
This actually happened yesterday. I started to watch it. By the way, it was on C-SPAN 2. Not 1.
Well, not 3.
Not 1, but 2.
2.
There are 2.
I would expect most of them to be there for the remainder of this thing.
Right. And of course, Fox carried most of it. And within a minute, I said, I can't take it.
It's over.
So when I do that, then I come back about every 25 minutes to go, is he still talking?
Yeah.
Just to see if he's still talking. But he's so far gone off the rails. And this idea that when you think I'm going left, I'm going to go right. What's the wrestler that had that taunt about?
It was Roddy Piper. Every time they know the answers, I change the questions.
That's it. So Trump thinks he's that. He thinks he's that, and he thinks that because everyone in America's life, which has been altered, turned upside down, ruined, put on hold, you come up with whatever way you want to describe it by the coronavirus, that there can be this little bubble around Donald Trump wherever he goes. And people enter that bubble where there is no coronavirus, where the air is pure, where the water is clean, where the mountain air is fresh, and you need no mask. And you can bask in my greatness. I, Donald Trump, I, the king of the world who conquered the coronavirus, as no one else has on the planet. I am free of it. Come, let me breathe on you. Let me kiss you. And by the way, if Joe Biden or Barack Obama had ever said, yes, I'm going to come out into that audience and kiss the men and the women, how much homophobia would have rained down on that candidate, Joe Biden or Barack Obama, for saying that?
No, but Joe Biden stroked a 10-year-old girl's hair one time, Brad. That's the comeback for that one, I think. That's okay. That's what it is. And as you know, that girl caught the virus and died.
Right.
So it's exactly the same thing. There's no difference whatsoever. And why are you trying to? These people are the same people, Brad.
Yeah. I mean, the desperation level is so over the top, beyond the pale. I put up a little meme earlier today, and I'm sticking with it. The big story, I think, that's really out there is that Trump's campaign is practically broke. They've pulled out of Ohio and Michigan and all these big states.
Yeah, the Rust Belt states.
And this is the guy, not only did he 4 years ago say, I don't need to raise money, I'm rich, I'm really rich, and then proceeded to take more special interest money for more people who've been calling in favors from him, and he's been happy to deliver as he creates the new Trump swamp for all these years than anybody ever. But now, during this campaign, when I believe it was about, 2 months ago, that the original story that signified the end of former campaign manager Brad Pascal's career as campaign manager was that he was spending money on himself. He was putting money in his back pocket on planes and cars and babes and bimbos and what twice I've said the word bimbos today.
It's terrible. That's awful.
That he was just blowing money right and left. Just a profligate spender, a bad steward of the campaign money. So they fired him. Now, look what's going on. They really are out of money, and they're getting outraised. Joe Biden has enough money to pour into states that he didn't think would be gettable. So they see him now within reach. And another one of my Facebook friends noted, and I don't know whether this is true, I think it is, he's still on TV in the worst market that he could possibly choose to be on in terms of maybe winning re-election, and that would be Washington, D.C. Yeah. Washington, D.C. is the bluest place in America. Right. Virginia, blue, 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 blue. Maryland, blue, 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 blue.
Right.
So my question is his campaign putting on commercials so that he will see them only?
But you know that's true. That's exactly right.
I can't believe to make him feel good.
Yes,
that makes him feel good.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Because they know that he watches Fox News all the time, and he wants to see them, and he wants to. He thinks the campaign's doing a good job if they're running spots on Fox News in Washington D.C. Yeah, this
isn't just Fox News. He's on all the
all the news channels.
Yeah. He's on Channel 9. He's on Channel 4. He's on 5. He's on 7.
It's the audience of one, Brad. That's exactly what's going on. Use Occam's razor on this one. It's not any more complicated than that.
So that would indicate to you that it's over. If you want,
I would say so. I would say
be an indicator if you're pulling out of everywhere you need to be anywhere you don't need to be.
No, yeah,
that's throwing in the towel.
I would say so, but again, we can't say that because we have to continue to vote as though this is going to be a 51-49 race or whatever, and people should do that. People should act as though, I don't care if the scoreboard does say 35 zip, it should be 0-0. That's what the scoreboard says as far as you're concerned. And we're going to be Nick Saban here. We're going to just run up the score.
Well, the other night in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, which, by the way, as you know, nobody watched. They failed.
They did. It was terrible.
Much of that black shit. Nobody's interested in the NBA anymore. Ha ha, LeBron, you suck. What the fuck is wrong with him?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a black guy. It's a black guy who made
the NFL got more view. The NFL always gets more viewers than anything. The NBA Finals have never been on against NFL Sunday Night Football. Okay.
Yeah, we're in unprecedented times.
Which, by the way, is an excuse. It actually is. But anyway, the Lakers jumped out to what I believe was at some point a 35-point lead.
Correct.
And by halftime, the game was over.
Mm-hmm.
But they still had to come out in that second half because the game wasn't over, and it's never over. It's never over. And the margin at the end, I think, was like 12 or 13 points.
Yeah.
It was not it would have been an incredible comeback. No one's ever come back from that far down after halftime. But you got to come out and you got to keep playing the game. And we have to keep playing this game all the way through Election Day and even beyond. It's not over. The polls do not decide who the next president is. It just, yes, it's better to be on the upper end of all these polls right now, but it doesn't mean anything. Enthusiasm level, I think it has carried over from 2018.
Oh, I think so.
It's carried over.
It's multiplied.
A factor of several.
It's a bunch. Yeah, there's a real sense in this country of people want to get rid of him.
But how can you possibly think at this hour? And again, these are rhetorical questions. They answer themselves. That when the entire country has been altered by the coronavirus, every aspect of life, you can't think of something that hasn't been changed, and you're out there playing chicken with everybody, with the coronavirus, with your supporters, with the idea of being prudent. I really think the theory that Florida may be lost to him because of the probably millions of grandparents who live in Florida who haven't seen their grandchildren in at least 8 months.
Well, you saw the banner that they flew across at the Villages. I think Pence was making an appearance there, and they said Mike Pence is the reason you can't see your grandchildren.
That's perfect.
That was the banner that they flew across.
There's no answer to that.
There's no way out.
There is, and if your answer continues to be, it's China. It's China's fault.
China.
Sorry, China not on the ballot.
No.
China not on the ballot. You're on the ballot.
I'm losing hope that we're going to get that vaccine by Election Day, Brad. I'm going to be pretty honest with you right now. With 3 weeks to go till Election Day, I don't see it happening.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know damn well on November 4th, the deep pharmaceutical state.
Deep state.
It's the deep pharmaceutical state.
Yeah.
No, yesterday, Johnson & Johnson put a hold on one of they were in stage 3 testing, and they've got an unexplained problem with one of the people. And to me, that's actually great news. It's proof that Donald Trump can't buffalo a large company into destroying their own reputation by saying, all right, we're going to ignore this person. We don't even want to find out what the hell's wrong with them because we've got a lot of positive results. Right. And we're just going to ignore the side effects. This is how they've been conducting vaccine testing and experimentation, going back hundreds of years. You have to test it on a lot of people, and you got to see if it works, and you got to have half the people on a placebo and half the people taking it, and then you figure out what went wrong. I mean, with 30,000 people, someone could get sick from something else that has nothing to do with what you shot into them. So they have to find that out. And then, this just happens all the time. And if it costs a few more weeks or a few more months to get as perfect a vaccine as you can get, so be it. It's not going to be on Donald Trump's timetable, which brings us to the latest smackdown between Donald Trump and his rekindled enemy. No, not Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, that's too bad.
I think he's moved on from Rosie O'Donnell.
That's too bad. Meatloaf?
It's Dr. Fauci, who saw was everywhere yesterday. He was all over the court. He was playing 5 positions. He was on CNN. He was on with Shepard Smith. He was just everywhere. And number one, of course, he's still pissed about that out of context remark being used in a Trump commercial. And he came as close to saying, hey, fuckface, take it out of there or you're never going to see your dog again. He came this close to doing that.
Right.
But he never goes that far. He goes, I'm disturbed. It's a very unfortunate thing that's going on, and it shouldn't happen again. but I think he's close to breaking. I think he's close to calling out Trump in a much more personal and political way, even though he's the first one to say, I've been in this business for 40 years and I've never been a political person. But here you go. Trump says that his bad first pitch that he threw at the Nationals game was way more accurate than his prognostications about the virus. Ha ha he. He's so funny, Donald Trump. Which I guess is a way of trying to defend the fact that they took something that he said back in early March and tried to lay it over the current circumstance of the virus in a commercial. And this is what Republicans always do when they play that game of clip and paste with remarks from your past. And you point out that obviously it doesn't apply to what's going on now. Their answer always is, but you said those words. Well, yeah. So what?
So you think that this is not a win for Donald Trump? This is not the way that he's going to win this election, is by lying about what Dr. Fauci said.
Well, forget the commercial. The commercial's just that's a sideshow. The fact that Fauci is now out there every day, all over the place, and his credibility level is high. It was high. It will continue to be high. And he has the support of the entire medical community. So I guess the election is going to be down to a simple choice. And, it's often a referendum on the incumbent, but this is a choice. Do you believe your doctor or do you believe Donald Trump? Because every doctor in the country says, wear a mask.
Yeah.
Socially distance.
Right.
Don't gather in groups, certainly don't gather in a large group of people, shoulder to shoulder without a mask on. Now, you can believe Donald Trump, who says none of that's really true. Don't worry about it. You can beat it. I beat it. I'm Superman. Of course, I had access to a novel cocktail of drugs that's available to no one else on earth.
One person gets that cocktail. One person.
So you should risk your life to go see me recite my list of Donald Trump's Festivus grievances.
Right. Against Sanford, Florida.
Over and over. And it's just so.
By the way, he'll be in North Carolina in Greenville, I understand, on Thursday. That's going to be at 1:00, and that's going to be, I guess he wants to kick off early voting. Wants to celebrate early voting in North Carolina, Brad.
Yeah.
In-person
early voting will be all about.
That's what he's going to be. Yeah. That's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah. They probably won't even tell him.
So the Dr. Fauci thing, you think, is a complete win for Dr. Fauci and a complete loss for Donald Trump? This is not going to be the way he's going to win the election?
It's not a question of a win for Fauci. Fauci was there 30 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's 79. He might retire at some point, but I suspect that he will be there 3 years from now. And Shepard Smith asked really great questions of him. And one of the questions was, would you stay on? And he phrased it perfectly. I'll paraphrase it. Will you stay on in your current position, even if Donald Trump is reelected? Okay.
Wow.
All right. Which is the perfect way to pose it. And Fauci, who is, he's a pretty slick guy. He didn't come back and say, yes, even if that asshole is reelected, I'm going to stay here. He said, look, this is my job. I intend to keep doing it. And this is a guy that just doesn't take shit from Donald Trump. He may appear to be always diplomatic in public, but there's something that he has that Donald Trump can't buy with whatever amount of money that he has, which I actually believe is a negative balance. Love to see that bank account.
Sure.
Love to see that credit score.
Sure.
Love to see all those tax returns put out there publicly. But he's got something that Trump can't buy, which is credibility, intelligence, knowledge, and the support of everyone, as he has been proven right. I think one thing that he said, and I think I've heard some other doctors say, we need to get away. This is the equivalent of when a hurricane comes, Well, is the category 1 or a 3? If it's a 1, I'm staying.
No
if
problem.
It's a 3, that's a bad one. If it's a 4 or a 5, I'm out. And that's the same. Are we in the first wave? Are we in the second wave or
Doesn't
the
matter.
third wave?
Doesn't matter.
It fucking doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Any of those waves can kill you. A category 1 can kill you. A category 2 can kill you. A tropical storm can kill you.
I can't figure out when the first wave ever stopped. Can you?
I don't think it has. I'm with you.
When the best we've been able to do is, I think we had a couple of days where only 600 people died.
Yeah.
Okay. And now it's back up usually over 1,000. And we have north of 50,000 people a day being infected. When did that first wave recede? Did I miss that?
And now we got the flu starting to come in.
Yeah.
It's going to start to be flu season any second now. So that's a great thing.
Right.
So, I'm with you. I don't think I have to worry about the second wave. I think the first wave's still rocking.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell. We did have the story of Governor Ralph Northam of Virginia discussed as a possible target by members of an anti-government group. Brad, charged last week with plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. The FBI was giving this information out on Tuesday. During a hearing in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Special Agent Richard J. Trask II said that Mr. Northam and other officials were targeted because of their aggressive lockdown orders to restrict the spread of the coronavirus. Last week, 13 men accused of involvement in the alleged plot were charged with a variety of state and federal crimes, including terrorism, conspiracy, and weapons possession. I don't think we're using the word terrorist enough when it comes to these people. Are we? I think the word militia gets thrown around a lot, but I don't believe the word terrorist is getting thrown around enough to describe these people, Brad. Do you?
Well, militia is a euphemism.
It is, really.
It's a softening. And since the word militia is in the Second Amendment, therefore, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Militia has nothing to do with roving bands of random citizens working against the interests of the United States government. I think that even a Second Amendment fan, now dead Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, would agree with that. But the fact that they picked 2 Democratic governors to do harm to kidnap them or kill them, it tells you everything you need to know. This is not but what about what Black Lives Matter is doing? What about what Antifa is doing? It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's never been close.
That's right.
Hasn't been close. And the fact that we have a white supremacist president who tacitly supports all these groups. By the way, I've missed Donald Trump's latest tweet expressing outrage and his full support for Governor Northam of Virginia. Did I miss that on my Twitter feed?
Yeah, you missed it.
Do I get a funny one? Do I get a bad one?
Contact Jack Dorsey, because your Twitter feed's not throwing out all the stuff that you need to see. Obviously,
they're censoring the good Trump stuff from me. Yeah.
I don't think Donald Trump has ever said that he's sorry about anything. I don't think he's ever apologized for anything at all, and anything at all. During Tuesday's hearing, authorities revealed the suspects also spoke about taking the Virginia governor, Brad, based on coronavirus lockdown orders that restricted business. So the guy who is the most famous guy with millions upon millions of Twitter followers, who was screaming to reopen open states, do you think he would have any sort of, I don't know, responsibility or a portion of the blame for inspiring these idiots to go out and do stuff like this?
No, because to quote him, I take responsibility for nothing.
That's correct. And he has taken responsibility. That's not out of context, by the way.
Well, see, the rhetorical wiggle that they use on things like this, and Trump will use it, they'll probably say, where did Donald Trump ever say that you should threaten a governor and take them hostage, put them on trial, and buy a guillotine from Guillotines R Us and cut their head off? He never said such a thing, and he is definitely against violence. That's what they will say. Instead of acknowledging that he has jacked up and fostered these movements in the country like we haven't seen since the late 80s, early 90s, since the Oklahoma City bombing days.
Yeah, those are the days.
Right? It's been 25 years or so since we've had this kind of problem. I mean, they've thrown every bit of spaghetti at the wall. They've run out of spaghetti to throw. And associated with this is Donald Trump at his rallies runs around and charges Joe Biden with wanting to close down the entire country.
I love
he
this.
says it over and
Over and over again. Yeah.
over and over and over again. So Republicans are really good at arguing against the air. They argue against things that were never said. They're arguing in Washington right now in the U.S. Senate against Democrats for their vicious anti-Catholic attack against Amy Coney Barrett. And they've never brought it up. They haven't said word one about her Catholicism. It's the Republican saying that they said it or were thinking it, or it was said 3 years ago in passing by Dianne Feinstein once when she was put up for the district judge position. So they have to argue against thin air. They have to argue against nothing. They have to argue against the premise. By the way, side note, before we started here today, this is Tuesday, I peek in at these hearings about once every hour or so just to see what's going on.
Yeah, see if there's any heat there.
And on Monday, the Democrats stuck to their playbook, which was just talk about the Affordable Health Care Act likely being overturned when Amy Coney Barrett is put into place, right? And today, I guess there was some more of that, but not exactly the same. And a very underrated Democratic senator, I think, is Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island.
Pretty smart guy.
And without notes, without looking down at the paper, without a teleprompter, he spoke extemporaneously for about 10 minutes about this other area that, again, affects our lives way more than whether abortion is legal or not. Very important, but it doesn't affect us every day, every hour, every minute.
Correct.
And the Affordable Care Act, very important. Every hour, every day, it affects certain people, but not everyone. But everyone has been affected by the Republican domination of the courts all the way up to the Supreme Court, where they get these decisions that have allowed, and I hate to play the name one person most responsible for it, the Koch brothers, to get their way on every big corporate distortion of our system, whether it's getting in the head of a coal company to run the EPA. Oh, that's a good idea. Getting some hack to be the Health and Human Services secretary, who's in the pocket of a pharmaceutical company and owns a bunch of drug stocks, so he does their bidding. Same in the banking industry, and on it goes. It's an infestation of the deep state.
It's true.
Over the top of it with politics, and then through the courts by getting judges appointed over and over and over again to rule in favor of a minority opinion of what the country wants and needs in terms of regulations, consumer protection. It just goes on and on and on. Senator Whitehouse went through this. I'm sure there'll be some coverage of it later. I hope there is. It deserves to be, because Amy Coney Barrett will be just another judge.
Yeah, she's pro-corporate. She loves corporations.
That way. That the Citizens United that allows dark money to infest everything. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse under her. And gerrymandering and voter suppression. These are all the kinds of rulings that these conservative judges have been making, gutting the Voting Rights Act a few years ago, so that the kind of harassment that we're seeing in voter suppression tactics that started right after that ruling 10 years ago, as soon as it happened, bam, voter ID everywhere, as much as you can. Get that voter ID in there. Start closing down those polling places. Start doing all that stuff. So that's what Senator Whitehouse talked about. And he said, thank you for letting me talk this way. I will have questions for you tomorrow. So he didn't even pretend.
No questions today. Yeah.
And the Democrats are under no illusions that they're going to stop every Republican senator from voting for her. They're not playing that game.
No.
They're playing a game over the rim, and they're trying to talk to the American people, because while they can't get 3 votes from Republicans to knock her out and delay this until after the election, while they can't get those 3 or 4 votes among Republicans, they've only got 2. They can't get 1 or 2 more. They are appealing to the tens of millions of votes that are on the line right now that affect real people's lives. And I think they're doing a good job of making it very, very clear that the decisions you make, Judge Barrett, they're real. They affect people's lives. She tried to counter that, and she's playing this biography bullshit game of, I've got 7 children. You know what? Fuck you. No man has ever stood before the U.S. Supreme Court as a nominee and bragged about how many children they have. Did Scalia brag? I think he has like 9 kids.
I think several of those kids were put in risk at a super spreader event a few weeks ago, as I recall.
Right. Right.
So I mean, I hate to bring these things up, but
right.
That's what happened.
But the idea of invoking Ruth Bader Ginsburg over and over again by Republican senators, especially Lindsey Graham, that son of a bitch.
I hope he gets destroyed in the election.
That son of a bitch. He was the first one. I took some notes on that one. I took some notes on what. This one is the worst, because he was trying to use Ruth Bader Ginsburg's words to justify the Republicans jamming her through in the last year of an election. You want to hear what he said?
What did he say?
Want to hear what he said? Here you go. Lindsey Graham this afternoon, in trying to justify what Trump is doing versus what Barack Obama did in nominating Merrick Garland 239 days
before the election.
Or as I'd like to say, Lindsey gets the most cynical, Orwellian, full of shit distortion of an RBG quote. He said that the bottom line is that Justice Ginsburg, when asked about what happened several years ago, said that a president serves 4 years, not 3. So he's saying that because Justice Ginsburg said a justice serves 4 years, not 3, that applies to Donald Trump now, a month before the election. But the 4 years of Barack Obama's second term didn't count as 4 years that you serve, not 3. And there are people, Britt, we're back to how stupid are the American people.
Yeah.
To not realize what he was doing there.
Well, let me order. I'm going to order one of those Little Caesars crazy bread pizzas, and I'll get back to you on that. What else did he have to say?
This is a vacancy. Listen to this one, but put on a seatbelt. This is a vacancy that has occurred through a tragic loss of a great woman. And we're going to fill that vacancy with another great woman. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah. That's the same.
Just fuck you. Well, just imagine if when Thurgood Marshall died, and they said we're going to replace one great Negro with another great Negro.
That's right.
Oh my God. Whose, by the way, ideology is 100% the opposite of the Negro who just died.
And he couldn't carry that guy's jock. We'll wrap it up there. Don't forget, Brad mentioned militias earlier. If your militia does need a guillotine, get it from Amazon. It's Prime Day with the best prices on everything, including guillotines.
I got to ask a question.
Yeah.
Which works better? Do you want stainless steel or Teflon on your guillotine?
Look at the reviews on Amazon. I'm not going to go ahead and solve that question. Get a 4-star review on stainless steel and then go with it at shop.bradandbritt.com. That's the link you want to go with for Prime Day with Amazon's best prices of the year, Tuesday and Wednesday, shop.bradandbritt.com. Booyah.